there, my name is Emily. I'm a student of physical therapy, and this is my patient Hannah. We have discussed her past workout history, and she was a college athlete for a few years, then retired due to an ankle injury. This is why we chose the bike test, to keep her weight bearing to a minimum. Hannah has no positive risk factors for CVD. She is regularly active, exercising 3 days a week for about at least 1 hour each time. Based on the ACSM guidelines, we need no medical clearance because she has no signs or symptoms and is a low-risk patient. She is already a few minutes into her warm-up, and her resting vitals before we started were 68. Her heart was 68 beats per minute, and her blood pressure was 114/68. RPE was 6. These fall within the normal values for a safe start to exercise, and her bike seat was set to the height of her greater trochanter. We were based off ACSM, we warmed her up at the conditioned women level of 50 watts. Due to all this information, we were good to start the Astrand bike steady state test. Keeping her RPMs between 50 and 60, we will warm her up and then bump her workload up to 100 watts due to the fact that she's a conditioned female from ACSM guidelines. Her submax range we are shooting for is 112.6 beats per minute to 159.5 beats per minute for heart rate. I divided those by 4 to get the value she needs to be in when I measure her heart rate for 15 seconds. That range is 28 to 39. I'm watching for adverse reactions to exercise and want steady state by minute 5 and 6. How are you doing?
Feeling great.
All right, we are nearing the end of this warm-up, so we will go ahead and bump your watts up to 100 after I take your vitals here.
Oh, I'll hold that still.
All right, let's bump you up to 100 and begin our steady state test. After warm up for about 3 minutes, her heart rate was 96 beats per minute. Her blood pressure was 115/70, and she has no signs or symptoms to an adverse reaction to exercise. And what would you say your RPE is here on this scale?
I would say probably a 7 right now.
Okay. Her RPE is about a 7, which is good to go. So I'm also measuring her rate of perceived exertion on a visual analog scale, where 6 is at rest, and it goes up higher by that based off of how hard they're working. And we'll also keep track of her heart rate and blood pressure as we go on. So in a few minutes, I'll be measuring her vitals again, and we would, at this point in the test, we would hope that Hannah's values fall in her submax range. If not, we'll have to bump the workload up even more. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Good job keeping the RPMs between 50 and 60. Everything looks good. Good job. Make sure you're keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed. All right, we're about 2 minutes into this first stage, so I'm going to start measuring your vitals, okay? And what would you say that your RP is?
I would say probably at like a 13 now.
Okay, awesome. So you are in your submax range because your heart rate at minute 3 was 124 beats per minute. Your blood pressure is 116/70, so that still looks good. And how are you feeling?
Really
Dizziness, nauseous?
Great.
Awesome, good to hear. So we'll go for a few more minutes, and then at minute 5 and 6, I'll take your vitals again. And if you're within 5 beats per minute and above a heart rate of 125, we can call it quits and we'll cool you down.
All right.
Good job. RPMs are within the range. You're looking good. And what is your RP?
I would say probably about 13 as well.
Good job. All right, so your heart rate at minute 5 was 128, then your heart rate at minute 6 was also 128. Your blood pressure is 115/70. And if you're feeling okay, we're gonna start cooling down, okay?
Sounds great. Whew.
All right, nice job. All right, we'll go ahead and cool you down between 3 and 5 minutes at 25 watts. And we'll measure your vitals one more time, just make sure everything's coming down at a normal rate with the workload. And since your heart rate was over 125 and within 5 beats per minute, You reached your steady state, so we're able to do all the calculations to find your VO2 max. Nice job.